It was the coolest experience. It continues to be like my go-to fun fact when I ever have to give one, which is very often for my profession. It's always a fun fact.
This is a really fun trip. We've been running it for a long time. It's a popular trip with older kids, usually 10th, 11th, 12th grade kids. So we hope that people will join us this year and bike the California coast. Trip starts in San Francisco, so they have 2 nights in San Francisco and 1 full day, and that full day is a pretty packed day where they'll go see the Golden Gate, they'll go see Lombard Street, they'll hang around Fisherman's Wharf. So they'll really see the major sites. They'll go see the seals of Fisherman's Wharf.
It was a really cool trip. We started out in San Francisco, and immediately getting there, we all bonded pretty quickly because there are so many things to do, like piers to explore. I remember going to the Golden Gate Bridge, and that was like our first adventure as a group, and it was a really cool experience to go across this magnificent bridge.
So we leave San Francisco and we spend 2 nights in really great they're hostels that are both lighthouses. So they're just south of San Francisco. You're not actually sleeping in the lighthouse, you're sleeping in the lighthouse keeper's house. The kids usually really do like these two hostels.
Every leg of the trip going south had like its own kind of vibe to it. And there were like fields, so we'd be biking through like the dull strawberry plantation fields, which smelled amazing, and it was so crazy to see the fresh strawberries and everything there. And then we keep going, we go through Big Sur, which is like the most beautiful state or national park, state park, I'm not sure, but it was beautiful. And we were lucky enough to stay there. And then we're just along the coast the whole time. So it's like we literally have the ocean to our right. We see dolphins and sea lions, and we can hear everything. And like at some point when we were getting closer to LA, we see all these kids in surfing lessons, which was crazy because I come from the land of like baseball teams and soccer, and like here they are surfing, like toddlers are surfing. And it was just, it was a culture shock of like the best kind, and it was a really cool experience.
We go through some great state parks where we spend the nights. We go to St. Luis Obispo. Again, some more state parks. We go through Santa Barbara. And then we ultimately end up in Santa Monica. And there's a great hostel in Santa Monica that we've stayed at for most years. The group does have 3 nights to run around LA, and there's a lot to do in LA, and it's usually really probably the high point of the trip.
We definitely binged on the cookie butter for our dessert. We ate straight out of the container because it's delicious. And then we tried to see what everybody's kind of interests were, so trying to find meals that everybody was excited about. These trips are an interesting opportunity to like try new cooking and culinary experiences because you're out in nature and like you're learning how to use a food budget and like cooking and ingredients and everything. And so we tried to involve everybody as much as possible.
Well, this trip was really amazing. Honestly, like it wasn't even just like the view that was amazing. It was like the skills and the things that I learned on the trip as a person.
Big Sur, that general area was incredible because not only do you have the cliffs and the water, but you also have like the rolling fog every once in a while. You have the hills, so you're climbing up these hills, but then you're just coasting down the other side into the most beautiful, it's like trees with mist on them, and you have like waterfalls flowing under you. You're going over bridges, and just that leg of the trip was so unique, and I've never seen anything quite like it before, and it was beautiful. So I remember when we first got into LA, there's like this winding path right along the beach that we're biking along, and that's when we first saw like the trees and like the beach, and we were like, we're actually like making it into LA. And so we biked in, and then you go up this kind of little hill up to the hostel, like up these ramps, and then we finally got there, and it was like we made it, and then we was like, we have to go explore. And so we went to the Santa Monica Pier. We walked to a couple of the nearby streets where they had really cool like outdoor shopping and everything. And so it was just about trying to see as much as we could. We went to Venice Beach to just explore that area too.